You know the way to this person's heart with this wisdom card. This is somebody who feels that you have intuitively found a secret code to get beyond their defenses, beyond their guardedness, beyond their fear of love and commitment and closeness with other people, or of being seen as they are, and you have nestled brilliantly into that kind of quiet space inside of themselves. And it feels right to have you there. This person is very comfortable with the idea of things continuing to progress between the two of you, because so far what they have experienced with you and what their own kind of like private reflections have let them know is that every time they take a step closer towards you, their world brightens. Every time they listen to that call within their heart to reach out to you, to put their focus and attention on you, or to start almost like sending loving thoughts or like positive vibrations your way, they are receiving an echo in return, both from the universe and from your higher self, that is giving this person a lot of reassurance that whatever's going to happen between the two of you is in accordance with their highest good. This is somebody who it feels like is very calm about that idea of future potential. This is not someone that's in any rush or any hurry to get to like the next stage of this connection, because it feels like something that is almost inevitable or destined. And although they have to put in work, to show up for this and to open up more and let you know what it is that they're feeling, there's a sense of like their intuition lets them know when the right time is to relax a little bit more into this situation. Their intuition lets them know when the right time to give a little bit more into this situation is. Just like they are now able to really see and kind of put the pieces together for themselves in regards to you are also getting these little clues and indicators, your instinct really kicking in as far as when to give this person space and when to kind of step forward in your energy, emotionally, or in your actions towards them. So in the unspoken realm, it feels like this person feels that you have a really good energy, a good balance between the two of you. The back and forth in an intuitive way is perfect. And so based on that, there's the sense of kind of like they're giving themselves a lot of leeway as far as taking the time to kind of open up more or move more towards you and towards an acceptance of the fact that you've come into their life at this point in time to bring them a gift of love, not something that will be a lesson in heartbreak, but something that is a gift. They're honoring like their own process of how that needs to happen. And there's a sense that you are on board with whatever they have shown you or whatever they've kind of how they've showed up so far. And there's a sense of really feeling that this is a way to their heart to kind of like trust them, to take the lead in this situation. You've sort of given yourself over to this, and yet you're holding your own. You're standing within kind of the center of your own emotional world and energy and needs. And so this person feels that this is something where these are very empowered exchanges between the two of you, not a running and chasing dynamic, but two people that are growing in the direction of one another, which it feels like is something that is like an intuitive need that you have registered within this person, where they need almost like freedom within the closeness of connections. Like that's been their wish, that's been their desire for a very long time, and it's been something they haven't found with other partners. And so far what is happening with you is really giving them that sense that this is a connection that will add something to the measure of their existence rather than create complications or kind of like bring out the worst in them. It's like they naturally feel inclined to show up very authentically with you, and this is something that you're reciprocating that by showing up very authentically as yourself as well. We also have deep emotions. So this person is like falling for you deeper every day. They are falling in love with you and they become more comfortable with that reality. This is somebody that is working up the courage to express those feelings, working up the courage to tell you that they love you. It feels like when those words come out, or some kind of conversation takes place about those deeper emotions, this is something that this person doesn't want to like share that and then they run away or close off. It's like, I want to share these things and I want to look you in the eye and I want to be standing there and for you to know that I mean that. And I don't just mean that for the moment. I don't just mean that because, possibly this could be how I'm feeling, but that there's a sense of certainty, that I can't hold this truth back any longer, that it feels right to express that to you. And in doing so, it's almost like a token or a gesture of their intention to build something real with you, to build something stable, to build something long term. It feels like this is the kind of person that doesn't say the words "I love you" very casually. They're not just kind of throwing that out to everyone. When those words come out, it carries a lot of weight for this person. It's something that they don't often say. It may have been a while since they've been in love, and so they are, taking this kind of reality very seriously. That it's kind of like, this feels right. It feels like, that it's the good thing to do. It's the best thing to do, to kind of honor these feelings that are developing and deepening inside of them as far as you're concerned, and to not hold back on that, to not doubt that. Like, it feels like it is come about not through you kind of like pressuring this person, like, how do you feel, what do you want out of this situation, but it's like you're doing you and you're allowing them to do them, and the two of you have this really good like dance that you're doing, where there is so much that is being created in the midst of that energy of like two independent people choosing to show up for one another as best as they can, as often as they can, and creating consistency from that is really showcasing for this person a different kind of foundation upon which to build a love story and a different experience of like connecting with another person, where there's a sense of almost like, if they have to make room for anything in their life, it's just to receive kind of the greatness of what you are bringing to the table. If they have to make room for anything in their life, it's in this capacity to give at the fullest towards you as far as what their heart is urging them to do. The idea of kind of like missing out on this opportunity with you, it feels like it fills this person with a lot of like emptiness. Like, that would be a huge loss for them. And so this is somebody that's not like taking any chances as far as, kind of second guessing themselves. It feels like they're checking in with themselves as far as known triggers and fears, and they're kind of staring those things down. Like, they're not wanting to self-sabotage. They know their tendency towards certain things, and they are trying their best not to kind of have those kind of like shadows or deficits within them sort of replicate in this situation as they may have done in the past, because this is somebody that places a lot of value on what you have with one another, and wants to invest as much as they can in trying to make sure that you're continuing to move deeper into that emotional connection with one another, with total trust and without fear, as a basis, not just as like an added detail, but as the basis upon which whatever else is going to, happen in the material world with you. So this may be somebody that wants to kind of like dive into those deep waters first. They want to, continue to talk to you, continue to get to know you, continue to spend time with you, continue to share aspects of themselves and to learn about you as well, so that when the connection, reaches that place of physical intimacy, or, kind of like more of a commitment is made between the two of you, that this isn't just a bond that is entered into lightly, but it's something that like we're choosing each other with our whole hearts. So this is somebody that is, accepting and loving and welcoming of that energy inside of them, these deep feelings that are developing, that are surfacing. They're almost kind of looking at the fact that they're kind of keeping some of that to themselves at this time. It's working to the advantage of like the future in this connection, because there's a sense of this increasingly like insatiable urge for you. It's kind of like, the more I just sort of sit and feel my feelings, the more I have this desire to take steps towards you, to express these feelings out, to experience the ways in which you respond to that, to build this closeness on the emotional level, so that when things physically kind of pick up and become something else between the two of us, that we are linking our lives together in a multi-dimensional way, not just kind of like answering to sort of like carnal passions, or the fact that on paper it looks really good or it makes sense for the two of you to be together. This is somebody that it feels like is looking for deep partnership. They're looking to date, to marry. They're looking for long-term connection. This isn't somebody that kind of like, is just looking to fill sort of a space in their life where otherwise it's loneliness and they can't stand being with themselves. This person has evolved beyond that version of them where it's kind of like, they feared their own company. And this is somebody that has come to a place of self-acceptance and self-love of like, I'd rather be alone than sort of settle for something mediocre. And so with you, this is somebody who's pouring from a full cup. They've already learned how to fill their cup. So what they have the ability to give to you and also receive in return is something that is real. It is deep. It is filled with truth. And so this person's like taking time to kind of swim within those deep emotional waters inside of themselves. And it feels like every interaction they have with you, every time they reach out, every time you communicate, every time you're near one another, there's so much that this person is like consciously infusing in terms of that awareness. They know how they feel about you inside, and they're bringing that more and more to the surface, hoping that you see that in the eye contact, hoping that you are able to kind of read the vibes that they are intentionally projecting towards you, that are filled with desire, that are filled with satisfaction, that are filled with this kind of like invitation to enter into this deep experience with them that transcends the ordinary. Yeah, we have grateful optimism. So this person is so happy that you have connected with one another. They get very excited at the fact, like, you really do like me. We really do have a connection. This isn't just something, that I'm kind of like picking up on a feeling and kind of running with that. That kind of the vibes between the two of you speak volumes. There may have even been people in their life that have kind of like noticed this connection, have observed the two of you in the same space, in the same room, and are like, what's going on? There's something between the two of you. Or, if this person has like mentioned you to other people, then there's other people that might have been like, yeah, we can tell there's really something there. You should pursue that. You should go after that. You should explore that. Because not just like, oh, you'd make a cute couple, but like, people who can sort of just see that, almost like the two of you kind of light up the room when you are near one another. Even people that aren't like energetically sensitive or intuitive or psychic or read energy or anything like that, they can pick up on something between the two of you. That there's something here, there's something unique, there's something worth exploring. And so this person is getting a lot of like boosts of confidence, in terms of like their anticipation of how interactions will be, and then the reality of how that plays out. It's like they walk away from those experiences very satisfied, very kind of like assured that like, okay, yeah, this is real. This is, I'm going to keep following my heart in the direction of you. And there's, again, like been other people, or at least one other person that has kind of like looked in on the situation, like a bird's eye perspective. They've gotten a second opinion about this from someone else. And that other person or those other people are like, yeah, this seems like you have some genuine potential here with this person. Not just like, oh, you should take chances because you never know if unless you find out. This is something more than that. This is kind of like the energy speaks for itself, and other people are able to pick up on that, which is giving this person a lot of kind of reassurance for the ways in which they may have sort of doubted their own intuition a bit. Kind of like, I'm feeling things so intensely and so deeply, but is this real? Am I just imagining things? And so they've gotten a lot of confirmation affirmations that it's like, no, there really seems to be something very unique, something very beautiful that is happening between the two of you. And it feels like there's people in this person's life that are kind of like secretly hoping. They're almost like they're betting on success in this connection. They're sending a lot of good vibrations, a lot of hopes and prayers that like, okay, come on, just keep moving forward, get together with this person, like explore that, like express yourself, receive them as they are, like keep showing up in this, because there's a sense of just, without even knowing much about you or not having like spent much time with you, they can just tell, like you bring out a really beautiful side of this person, or you fit so well within kind of just the essence of, like a what could be a good couple or like a healthy couple, or sort of like, yeah, this is someone that would be good for you. And because you're important to us, we want, or me, we like want, someone good for you to be in your life. So this person's getting a lot of encouragement. You have a lot of people that are advocating for you, kind of like, okay, hold your ground and let this person step forward. And they're also hoping, that you're not going to hold back, that you're going to continue to be yourself, that you're going to continue to, show up as you have been, because it's hit all the right buttons within this person. It has awakened something within this person. They are more joyous since you have entered their life. And any period of time where there may have been like silence or even miscommunication between the two of you, people have even noticed like, yeah, their mood totally changed. And this isn't coming from a place of codependency, but this is almost something like the two of you click or connect on this level, that you're just like, you're bringing out the best parts of this person. And it's very obvious that it's kind of like you are this sort of secret ingredient at this point in this person's life, to where you represent almost like a point on the horizon towards a better future, as compared to kind of like just the sense of them sort of going through the motions of their ordinary life, which might not have necessarily been a bad thing, but it's almost like you represent a light within this person, or you emphasize a light, you bring a light up from deep within them, and so that difference, that kind of contrast is noted. And so, if this is somebody that needs to kind of express more about themselves, they're getting a lot of that encouragement from people in their life to do that, to go after this, to trust in this, because already it's, the blessing of this experience with you is like bringing out the best in them. Yeah, and we also have abundance. So when this person is with you, when they spend time with you, they feel like their best self. You are very easy to talk to. They don't have to try to perform or be someone that they are not. It feels like even in the days, when they're feeling kind of off, when they're grouchy, when, they're not kind of like, they don't have that high vibration to share, like you're able to adjust yourself. You're able to meet them on that level, or even kind of like pick up their spirits and mood in a way. This is somebody that feels like very reassured, because they're not kind of in competition with you for the spotlight in this situation. It's like we can both shine as ourselves, and there are times where it is just so radiant that the whole room notices, and there are times where I'm content to just like sit and watch you do your thing, and that just fills me with a sense of, this is right, this is the right person for me. Times when you've really shown up for this person and like encouraged them, or you've held space for them as well, to kind of just be themselves in whatever kind of shape or form that is taking, energetically or emotionally on any given day. This is something that they recognize that, they respect that, they appreciate that so much, because you're not just making it all about you. Like you're someone that genuinely, has an interest in them. You care about them and their well-being. You're allowing this person to care about you and your well-being as well. So they feel that there's a really good like open channel between the two of you, that if they keep feeding their time and their energy, and their optimism into this is like something really good is going to continue to manifest between the two of you. And this is something where this person doesn't want to miss out on this opportunity with you. They want to continue to get to know you. They want to continue to see where this connection leads towards. This is somebody that they're very optimistic that you are that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow they have been waiting for, they have been searching for, and this is someone that has a lot of gratitude that they have finally found you, or that you finally came into their life. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.